Welcome everybody to this week's episode of Relic News. My name is Laurie Gagne and I'm so excited to bring you tonight's show. This is a segment that I've been wanting to do for quite some time because it seems to be that we're the diamonds in the rough. Women metal detectorists. There's not that many out there, but we are. So tonight's feature, I'll be featuring all women tonight, starting with myself. So a little about myself. I started metal detecting about approximately 6 years ago. My first machine was a Garrett GTX 550. I only used it for about 6 months and then purchased my White's MXT Pro and been using it for about 5 years now and I can't let it go. So how did I get into this hobby? I think I've been a treasure hunter at heart my whole entire life. I have my father to thank of filling my head up with so many stories of riches and treasures, and you can find everything on the surface, and he used to bring us to the snow dumps. And I'm telling you, probably in grade 1 or grade 2, I think I was the only kid that wasn't playing in the snow, and I was actually looking for coins and barrettes and anything that kids would have lost during the winter. That's pretty much it. I started off metal detecting in parks and schools, found some gold rings and some silver rings, but I would have to say it was the day that I metal detected my grandfather's farm. It was built in the late 1700s. I'll never forget that day. I had pulled out this really large coin, a big copper, never saw anything like it. I remember my hand shaking. I was calling Eric at work saying I found something, trying to describe it, and it turned out that I had found my first large cent. And really, I must say that's what had started everything. My passion for history, my passion for research, of finding out what it is that I found, my passion to try to make a story out of the finds and the people that left everything behind. It's been, it really has turned out to become quite a passion and a true love. Now, my favorite moment metal detecting, it would have to be at the Victorian Picnic Grove when we had first found it. I had my daughter, my son, Eric, myself. We were taking turns pulling out coins and little fishies, silvers, so many personal brooches, and I can't just choose one moment because seriously, that whole summer I think was the best summer of our lives. It was a dream come true, just finding so much stuff and being there with my family. It has to be my favorite moment, and which is most of the time. I'm pretty much always with them. For number 100. Wow.
Fish scale, 5 cents.
Yeah.
Vicky, 5 cents.
Vicky fish.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Fish.
There it is.
Fishy, yes. Fishy.
Nice.
Oh, I saw it.
I saw silver there.
Another one. Fishy.
Fishy?
Good eye, Jocelyn. Now I'll be featuring Carol Rio. As a child, she would spend her summers on Long Island, New York. Her uncle Mario in the 1960s had built a metal detector, and she remembers following him around while he used to tell them all these stories about finding pirate treasures. In 1983, she had joined the Boston Metal Detecting Club, and this is when she had purchased her White's Coin Master 6000D. And even though she had purchased her AT Pro, she still occasionally takes out her old metal detector for a spin. Her favorite find would have to be her Massachusetts coin and the 1600s pewter spoon that has a hallmark. The find that means the most to her would have to be this coin holder that she had dug up in her own yard. Now, if you ask her what her most memorable hunt is, she would have to tell you it was back in 1982 when they had climbed to the top of a New York mountain. This is where there was an inclined railway and a hotel. Now, the only way of getting up there was with ATVs, and it seems that the ATVs must have kicked up the dirt in front of the motel because she remembered seeing old Victorian coins right on the surface. Incredible. I could see how that's memorable. Carol has hunted with a lot of incredible metal detectorists. This includes J-Mo, Howard Hewitt, Dave Wise, and Todd Hiltz. She had joined the Stealth Diggers over a year ago and helped organize the Bridgewater Triangle project. Now here is a clip.
She started coordinating, and we got Carol.
Hello.
So we gathered on the lawn, took a little group photo. And then it was off to our first permission, which Carol was nice enough to get for us. Here we go.
Carol's coming up with all the good cultures. Look at that.
I love finding knives too.
Yeah.
Next to spoons, I love finding knives. Dead forks.
Is it open on the bubbles?
Yes, it is. It actually came out in pieces.
Side yard?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
We're here at a very historical place, about 1804, supposedly stagecoach stop. So we have permission from the trustee of the Historical Society. And if I find anything of historical value about Brockton, I will return it to the historical.
If I find anything?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
That's why we do this. So let's do this.
Now this next person was referred to me by Diane Mantia from Facebook. He referred me to his wife, Diane. She's been a significant help with the Daytona Diggers, and she has made some incredible finds. Here's the video clip.
She got an Indian.
1871 Indian.
Yep.
You know how many times I've been over this?
It was bad signal. It was. I almost didn't dig it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see it here, girl. A little closer. All right. The Gagne girl scores. Okay, we'll be back.
Now I'll be featuring Domanick DaSilva. Some of you might know her on YouTube as Silverslinger. Now, her and Mark have been avid fishermen and were out there every chance they can get. Last spring, she had decided, why not? Let's go pick up some metal detectors. They went out and drove to a local store and purchased a few MXT Pros. Domanick is also a part of the White's metal detecting field team. Now, if you ask Domanick what her most memorable hunt was, she'll tell you it was when her and Mark had found their 2 George Washington buttons. Domanick and Mark now have found 83 bells and counting. These just so happen to be Domanick's favorite relics.
A bell.
Look!
Nice one. Oh, nice.
So Domanick says that she is totally addicted to history. Nothing gets her more excited than being the first person to touch a coin or a relic that has been lost for decades and even centuries. Here's one of Domanick's finds from her YouTube channel, Silverslingers.
Oh! Oh my God! Whoa! Ah! I want Tiger to see.
Hi friends!
So here is our dig tip. And it is, whichever machine you're using, and it totally doesn't matter if your detector costs $200 or $500 or $1,000 or more, it doesn't matter. But what matters is getting to know it really, really well. Every single sound it makes, every little nuance, get to know it, become one with it. No matter what price range of machine you're hunting with, as long as you know that machine really, really well, you will find treasures. I, for example, speak fluent Vixen. Good luck, everybody. Happy New Year and happy hunting.
Now we'll be featuring Siren Kimmie. Some of you may know her as Kimmie Price on Facebook. And she also has a YouTube channel called Girls Rock Metal Detecting. Now, Kimmie has always had an interest in history. One day on TV, she came across a show on metal detecting. She soon after entered into the YouTube community and was fascinated by the amount of relics and discoveries that were being made. Kimmie had noticed that there was no real voice for the women metal detectorists in this community. So here's a little clip of Kimmie introducing herself and what she has done for the women in this community.
Hi, Siren Kimmie coming at you from the Girls Rock Metal Detecting Relic Room. I am the head darling in charge over at Girls Rock Metal Detecting, and we're having a glass of wine here and hanging out with Relic News and a little bit about myself. We are at Girls Rock Metal Detecting, girlsrockmetalDetecting.com. We have a website, a YouTube, a Facebook page, a shop, a blog, so come and check us out. It is all geared towards females in the metal detecting industry, and I really invite you to come along and check out what we're doing. And here's a little bit more about us. Here's Laurie, she's going to explain. Take care and keep rocking metal detecting. Want to thank Relic News for having us on tonight. Thank you for having us on tonight, and don't forget, rock metal detecting. Rock on.
Now, if you ask her what her most memorable hunt was, it was the time that she had found a Civil War bullet. Now, just the fact of finding something that was fired during a battle just blew her mind. Now, her favorite find would have to be the cavalry stirrup that she had found when she was metal detecting in Central Virginia with Lee Jackson.
Okay, this was under a tree that I had to move. I had to break under a bunch of roots, and damn if I don't think that's a stirrup. Too freaking cool.
Okay, girls, now Kimmie is always looking for metal detecting clips and finds from our women metal detectorists. So please look her up as Kimmie Price on Facebook and send her your stuff. American Digger Magazine is placing an event on January 16th and 17th. Here, check it out.
Swords, guns, relics, bottles, old money, and coins. Metal detectors and accessories. Come see history as you've never seen it before. It's the American Digger Magazine's inaugural 2016 Low Country Civil War Show and Sale. January 16th and 17th, 2016 at the Omar Shrine Temple in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Saturday hours are from 9 till 5 and Sunday hours are from 9 till 3. Admission is only $10 and kids under 10 are free. Don't miss it.
Jocelyn Elizabeth from Pennsylvania.
Hi guys, it's Jocelyn. Laurie had asked that I did a little video for Relic News, so I figured I'd give it a go. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jocelyn. I write a blog called Relic Recoverist, and I also write a column in American Digger Magazine. So make sure you get your subscription so you can read that.
So what got Jocelyn started in metal detecting?
I guess she would like for me to talk about how I got started in doing all of this. And believe it or not, I got started doing this. I'm in a dump right now digging up bottles and crocks. And that's how I started when I was 13 living in Rhode Island. Back behind my parents' house, there was a dump, and I would go back and I would bring my sled and I'd pile it full of crocks and bottles, and then I'd haul them all back. And my parents had this like old chicken coop out in the backwoods that came with our house, and I just filled the whole thing full of bottles and cracks. Anyway, that was back in Rhode Island. And then I moved here to Pennsylvania, and I've lived here for about 12 years or so.
Here's Jocelyn explaining when she first purchased her metal detector and her favorite spots to hunt.
I was like, hey, I should get a metal detector and give that a try. So I started metal detecting about last year, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. I know some people do parks and some people do fields, and I'm more into the old houses and old structures and that sort of thing. So I do schoolhouses, falling down houses, regular houses that people live in, as long as they're old. One of my favorite places to detect is old schoolhouses, and I don't know, that's just like a thing of mine. And I guess that's a little bit about me. If you'd like to read my blog, you can find it at www.relicrecoverist.com. You can find me on Facebook. I have a public page, and also my personal page is Jocelyn Elizabeth. And like I said, I also write for American Digger magazine. So if you'd like to check that out, make sure you get your subscription for this coming issue. So thanks. See you later.
If you ask Jocelyn what her favorite find is, it would have to be a souvenir token that she had found while she was metal detecting with her husband at an old school site location. Now I'll be featuring Amy Dodd. She has been in the metal detecting community for many years now. But back in 2010, she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and was presented with many challenges that accompany this disease. Now the doctor had told her by staying mobile and active, she may be able to retain much of her abilities. So back in 2012, she broke out the metal detector and has been staying active. Back in November of 2015, Amy had helped host the American Diggers Relic Roundup show. Here is a clip from the show.
We're giving out the show to the women of detecting, and tonight our hosts are going to be Miss Amy Dodd and Barbara Connell.
Hey, Amy. Hey, this is Amy Dodd. I'm so happy to be here.
Now, if you ask Amy what her favorite find is, it's a find that she had found with Barry Swope. This was a Selma 3-ringer bullet that was embedded inside a tree. Now, if you ask Amy what her most memorable hunt was, it was the day that she had found 2 class rings. Now, one of the returns was very unexpected. She was invited to a birthday party. Now, watch this.
No, pretty boy. Alright, here we go. Let me do swipe to the side.
Careful.
Oh, what?
Gotta be
loud. Awesome.
Whoa!
What is it?
Where did that come from, dude?
That woman you can thank.
She found it.
That woman you can thank.
It's not a new one.
I found it. That's your ring, Justy.
That's your original ring.
Where'd you find that
At the lake.
No way.
Metal detecting.
Get out of here.
I was metal detecting and found it.
I could tell this was the same one because I got a scratch in my gym.
I thought I did that.
I could tell.
I thought I scratched it.
Thank you.
Now that wraps it up for this week's episode of Relic News. Now here's a video. Now I'll be leaving you with this.
Sorry.
Now I'll be leaving you with this last. Now I'll be. Here's a video from. Here's a video from Domanick DaSilva on YouTube. Here's a video from the Silverslingers. Here's a moment. Wow. It's not that hard.
Cut.